Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our Tagtastic episodes, and today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I thought we would use envelopes. So I've brought along these envelopes. They are from a card making pack. The cards are, this is, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, kind of 6x4 size. They're just under, but yeah, 6x4 is what I would call them. So I've got the envelopes, and obviously I've got the you know, the cards, but I thought we'd make tags here just using the envelopes themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take the envelopes and we're going to seal them shut in the first instance. So obviously at the moment, you know, they've got the opening flaps. I mean, you possibly could even use them or keep them as an envelope. No, you couldn't. No, sorry. Scratch that. I'm already making a mistake. So, yes, I'm going to seal the envelopes closed because, yeah, you couldn't obviously use them as an envelope. That would not work. And then we will obviously transform them into tags. So, just sealing the envelopes closed. Like this. Okie dokie. So I'll seal a bunch of these closed all at once because then we're, you know, we're being a little bit efficient. So just going to try and wipe off the glue as I go. I'm very messy with this this glue, unfortunately. Right. So yeah, let's seal a bunch. How many should we seal? Maybe 6, 8. I mean, we're making quite a few of these tags each episode, aren't we? And you know, even though we're not decorating them per, you know, per episode, we are getting through them quite well. So I think we'll, you know, we'll stick with that, being optimistic, and we'll go for, I think go for 8, to be honest. You know, I'm hoping by the end of this series, I know I've said it loads of times, but by the end of this series, I'm hoping that we're going to just have loads and loads of tags, you know. Oh, yeah, I feel like we've got a mountain of tags ready to go. I might not even have 8 envelopes here, actually. Just having a look at my pile, it's smaller than I thought. So anyway, we shall see. So yeah, I really hope that lots of you are joining in, and yeah, do join in if you are joining in. Now, I apologise that I haven't been really mentioning the hashtag previously particularly, but obviously it took me a little while to kind of yeah, suddenly dawn on me that I could be using a hashtag. So the hashtag is Tagtastic. Obviously do share your creations on, you know, the Facebook group and on Instagram, maybe on YouTube if you're joining in the challenge as well. And like I say, there is going to be a giveaway at the end of this. So yeah, the more people who join in and enter, obviously the more exciting this is going to be. So yeah, do you know, do share where you can, and obviously use the hashtag. So right, 2, 4, 6. Oh, I am, what was I thinking? I still had loads on the pile. So yeah, we're going to do 8. So I mean, that envelope's a little bit funny, but okie dokie. Glue that one down. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, okay, so we've got our tags obviously now, or you know, our what's going to be the base of our tags glued together. So then what we want to do is obviously make them into tags, or transform them into tags now. So I'm just having a look whether I could use one of my little templates that I've got to cut my corners. So they are going to obviously be wider than, you know, normal kind of, or what I would term as normal tag shapes. Well, wider and shorter, if you see what I mean. So I mean, actually this isn't that much wider, as you can see, than my template, but obviously the main difference is this is going to of course be a lot shorter than the template. So that's my tag corners. Now at this point it's up to you really. You could either glue these corners shut and, you know, just use it like a base. Or what I'm thinking, cut the top here, and then what you've done is you've formed a little, almost like a paper bag, to be honest, with your envelope. So I think that's quite fun to do. Obviously you could seal the corners shut if you prefer, you know, and if you want to just use the envelope as your, you know, your tag base. But I think that's quite nice to do, because you're then actually, you know, making almost like a little paper bag. So I'm going to just cut the corners for, actually I might collage these first. Oh God. Do you know, I'm going to cover them first, and then we'll cut the corners. So I've got a whole bunch of different papers here. Now I do have some scraps as well, so we might do some collaged and some, you know, covered completely with paper. You know, so we've just got a sort of bit of a mix really. So let's use a couple of whole sheets to cover. So yeah, let's just, so this is my Paris collection papers. So I might do it here sort of in the middle like that, I think. So I'm just going to cover the whole, actually, oh sorry, I'm chopping and changing my mind here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take it down here before I glue it on. Okay, and just cut that down on the edge. Like that, okay. Like that. And obviously I will keep this as scraps for something else. So yeah, actually I'm going to cut the paper first, only because I'm not very good at cutting around it once it's glued onto the envelope. And if I then cut it, I'm so sorry if my phone keeps pinging. I've got a sort of conversation going with somebody about something. So yeah, I'm going to cut them down the piece of paper here, because I don't find it that easy cutting it down when it's against the piece, if you see what I mean. I will struggle not to cut potentially the piece, and then of course all I'm going to actually do is potentially cut what's a sort of sealed edge. So I'm just going to just put the papers here like this with the couple that I'm going to cover completely, and then I might collage a couple as well. So we've just got a couple of, you know, different looks. So I'm just going to take, I think, here. Okay, so I've got some from my new, oh gosh, what's the word? I don't know why. Every time I try and say this, hydrangea. Every single time that I try to say hydrangea, I just, for some reason, keep getting a different flower come into mind. And I can't even think now what the flower is, which is so weird, but yeah. Okay. Let's just cut this down. Yeah, these are the hydrangea papers, and yeah, I don't know why I can't ever remember that, but yeah, so that will go onto that one. And let's do one more with like a whole sheet, and then we'll perhaps collage some up. So let me see whether I've got a whole sheet that would, no. This is my lace collection in the blues and the greens. So yeah, again, we'll just take this down. Like that, okay. Right, let's just cut that down. Okie dokie, right. Okay, so that's those, and then should we collage a couple as well? So yeah, perhaps we'll just use, you know, use some of these scraps and just collage a couple. Again, you know, I like to do the collage really on the side with the glued flap. So the papers that I'm going to be gluing down, I will be gluing onto the side with the glued flap, and the collage as well, because obviously what we want to do is, you know, in an ideal world, cover up that glued, the envelope flap, the glued envelope flap. So this is obviously the best way to do that. Okie dokie. Right. Okay. Yeah, so I hope everybody is having a good day. I hope you're doing some nice crafting, having a nice time. So do share below. If you're not joining in the challenge, what are you working on? And like I say, I mean, I'm really hoping that, you know, lots of you are joining in the challenge. And if you are, do share below. How many tags have you made to this point? You know, have you got a ton of tags now? Are you enjoying the challenge? You know, have you made some slightly different tags to what you maybe have ever made before? Or, you know, whoops. Yeah. You know, and also share maybe the links to where you're sharing your photos on, if you see what I mean. So if you're sharing photos on Instagram, maybe you would be able to share a link to your Instagram account. If you're sharing them on the Facebook group, I don't know whether you can share a link to a Facebook group. You probably can. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you probably can. I don't know how you would do that, but you know, share the link to your Facebook pictures, you know, because that would be great for everybody to be able to check out what you're actually up to and what you've been making. So, you know, hopefully we'll get a bit of a, you know, exciting vibe going on here with lots of shares, and then, you know, drive some traffic maybe to your Instagram accounts and your, you know, your YouTubes if you're joining in the Tagtastic challenge, maybe on your channel, you know, then share the link to your channel, to the video that you've put up. Yeah, just share the links, you know, as much as you can, because obviously that's going to be, you know, the best way to kind of like be, you know, sharing kind of everything we're doing. So yeah. Right. Oh gosh, I've now done that the wrong way. What an idiot. Oh, what's Wally? Right. Let's just tear this down. So, okay. I'll have to put that like that. Right. Okie dokie. Okay. So, I mean, the collaging is nice, isn't it? You know, just a bit of a different sort of look. I mean, obviously, I've not really even kind of paid any attention to, you know, the papers that I've put on the collage. You know, I'm not necessarily saying they go, but, I mean, they look quite pretty, don't they? They don't, you know, they don't not go. They don't look terrible. But, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily have mixed those combinations before, but they do look actually pretty good, don't they? So, yeah, let's do some other combinations here. So perhaps we'll do a bit of this or something. Okay, just glue this one down. There we go. Yeah, I haven't counted up how many tags that we have actually made yet. You know, so maybe you are keeping a score, you know, better than I am. You know, but yeah, count up your tags and share how many tags that you have made so far. And, you know, the winner of the challenge is not going to be the person who's made the most tags or anything like that, because, you know, I just feel like that would disadvantage people who perhaps haven't got the time to make as many tags, maybe don't have quite as much materials to be making, you know, as many tags, or, you know, anything like that. Or, you know, of course, it's all kind of, if you don't decorate your tags as much as one person, you could maybe, you know, make them a lot quicker. So yeah, I did kind of consider whether the challenge would be, you know, whoever's done the greatest number, but I just felt like that would be disadvantaging people who, you know, perhaps didn't have the time, or, you know, as I say, even if you're someone who decorates your tags up a lot, then they're going to be obviously a lot more time consuming to make than perhaps someone who didn't decorate them up as much, you know. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but, you know, obviously from a sort of fairness point of view of people joining in, I just thought, well, that might be a little bit unfair, because, you know, not everybody is going to have then had time to make the same volume. If one person's, you know, just kind of making them with one or two things, and maybe somebody else is, you know, stitching them on the sewing machine, and then, you know, adding 5 or 6 things, that's going to obviously take a lot longer. So yeah, I just kind of thought probably the fairest way is probably to do, you know, a different way of doing it. So yeah, hopefully that kind of is, yeah, hopefully that seems fair to everybody. Okay, so yeah. Right, I'll just pop this one down. Obviously I haven't glued the papers on yet that were just the papers. So did I do 3 or 4 with just the paper? I'm not sure, to be honest, but I might go back and obviously do another one, so that we perhaps have 4 collaged and 4, you know, covered with a sheet. So yeah, perhaps we'll do that. Okie dokie. Oops. Okay. Oops. That one, and then, oops, where's another one? Okay. Oops. So again, obviously using the side with the glued down flap. I think that's quite important, is, you know, to use that side. Yeah, I think probably that's quite an important sort of step, really. Actually, I'm just wondering whether I might have this right down that side. Perhaps we will. Oh no, might have it across the bottom. So yeah, just do that. And just cut the side. Oops. Yeah. Okie dokie. There we go. That one. Oops. Okay, right, we're nearly there. So, yeah, maybe that there. So I'm just going to trim this down here on this side. Yeah, okay. Maybe have that even. Want it over or under? Probably under is better, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, these just happen to be here from I think it was from the mass making that we did, and you know, so I thought, well, this is a good use of, you know, using up some scraps. So always good to be able to use up some scraps, isn't it? But like I say, I'm also using some full sheets as well, so not only using the scraps. I'm just going to take this down slightly more, so hopefully we've got a little bit more of that side looking, or that side. So yeah, these are obviously that was my lace paper down the bottom, again in the blues and the greens. This is my shabby chic collection, and this again is the Paris collection papers. So, but I mean, to be honest, they actually go okay, don't they? You know, like with all these things, I love it sometimes when you can just pull in random scraps, you know, that you haven't really kind of spent too long thinking about, because you just then get some really different sort of looks, don't you? So, yeah. Okie dokie. Right. How many have we done now? Oh, we've just got 2 left, so we're going to do one more with the collage and then one with the you know, some more paper. So I might collage in some of this paper actually. What should I put it with? It feels a bit too predictable, doesn't it, to use that? But that's unpredictable, but maybe that's because it doesn't really go. But okay, so let's just, yeah, do that one, and just going to trim it off at the bottom. Okie dokie, so we'll just cut that down. Okay, so sorry if you can hear chat. I've obviously got my son and my daughter, they're both at home. My son's doing his assignment. My daughter's actually not feeling very well today, so she's home from school. So yeah, I can hear them in the other room, so I do apologise if you can also hear them. Okay, right. It's such a horrible day today. It's just, oh, I mean, seriously, like, I don't know what has gone on with the weather this summer. It's been shocking, absolutely shocking. No summer whatsoever has been had, really. So, yep, it's, well, it's really cold today. I've got a long sleeve dress on and a cardigan, still quite cold. Yeah, it's getting really dark again outside, so I assume it's about to chuck it down with rain again. And this morning when I was at the gym, oh my goodness, it was so heavy, like a tropical storm, actually. It was so heavy. And yeah, I just don't know what on earth is, you know, is going on, but it just is endlessly, you know, not getting any better. So yeah, I don't actually think we're perhaps going to get a summer at all this year, which is so gutting, because to be honest, last year was not a great summer. So we had that fantastic, amazing summer during lockdown. You know, the weather was like unbelievable, just wow. Then the following summer, I think the following summer was okay, if I can recall. You know, pretty good probably. I mean, not a patch on the summer before, but, you know, I think it was still okay. I seem to recall quite a few, you know, quite a random, yeah, quite a few nice days. Then, obviously, last summer, shocking, you know, not good at all. I think we had like 2 solid weeks of really good weather and then just all deteriorated. And now this summer, oh my goodness, I think it's been like 2 days. No, I mean, it's been a couple more days than that, but they've been interspersed. So I think there's been like 2 days, then, you know, 3 weeks of rubbish, then maybe like 1 day. I mean, like this week, we had one lovely day, you know, that was actually kind of like you could be outside in like a summer dress, and literally surrounded by like 2 or 3 weeks of utter rain, wind, you know, not nice at all. So yeah, it's been not good at all. Right, there we go. So that's the collage ones. Right, I've got one more that we just need to put, obviously, just a whole sheet here. So I'm hoping that I've got a whole sheet that's big enough. Okay, so this is my Yellow Roses papers, so they're just about enough on here to be able to cover this. So yep, just take that to there. Okay, just cut this down. Okay, right, tear that off at the top, just to make it, you know, a bit kind of easier really. Right, okay, so for the whole sheets, obviously we can just then, you know, put the whole sheets down like that. Plenty of glue, especially all over that, you know, where the flap kind of was, and then just, yeah, put the whole sheet down. So I mean, obviously the whole sheets, they're a lot quicker, aren't they, than you know, collaging. So I mean, that's another thing, like I said before about the, you know, it's not going to be who makes the most tags, because obviously somebody who collages all the tags rather than using a whole sheet of paper, again, that tag's going to take a lot longer to make. Sorry, I just need to change that to different senses. Now a tissue, so I apologise for anyone who doesn't like the noises of the tissue, but yeah, my wipe was literally saturated. So yeah, obviously collage takes a lot longer to put on than just a single sheet of paper. So, you know, again, I just feel like people would be, you know, slightly disadvantaged really. So there we go. Right, so that's that one. We're going to obviously cut them down in a moment, making the you know, the corners and all of that. So let's bring these spines in. Okey-doke. So quickly cover this. Okey-dokey. Okay. Oops. Spread the glue. And to be honest, this is quite a, you know, a nice use of envelopes. And, you know, I've used these envelopes from the card making kits. I mean, obviously you don't have to use them from the card making kits. If you've got, you know, mail envelopes that you've received through the post, maybe like in DL size or, you know, the kind of letter size, if you can manage to glue them back together, you know, maybe the flap is still intact and you can glue them back together, you can make them using those envelopes. But they would obviously, they would be a lot taller than these. I don't know whether those envelopes would be wider than these. Not sure of the measurements, to be honest, but yeah, they'd probably be wider. But, you know, so use the envelopes that you have. You don't have to be using, whoops, you don't have to be using the envelope sizes that I'm using. It's just that these happen to be, you know, I had these bunch of envelopes and thought, wow, you know, great use of using these. So let's just take this down. So we're nearly done with our gluing now, you know, with our covering of our envelopes. So then we can actually get on to the more exciting part of actually decorating some. So yeah, right, let's just spread the glue. I mean, these episodes, I realise they've sometimes been a bit lengthy because obviously I'm trying to make quite a good volume of tags per episode. So, you know, even though I haven't actually got round to decorating half of them, you know, I'm trying to obviously make as many as I can. So it's, you know, so it's exciting, and we've made a huge volume. So, yeah, they've obviously gone on a little bit. But hopefully lots of you are joining in, and so, you know, you maybe don't mind the videos going on, because hopefully you're kind of like in the thick of it and in the excitement and making a bunch yourself. So is, you know, what I'm really hoping and would really love. So there we go. Right. Okay, right, pop that one down. Oops. Right, there we go. Let's just quickly spread this out. Okay. Right, okay, so we can now cut them all down, obviously. So I can just tidy up the back of this one a little bit. Okay, right, so let's trim it down. So, right, so this one, just trim that down there. There we go. So, you know, you can see they're kind of like shorter, stumpier tags than I would perhaps normally make. But, you know, that's quite fun. And to be fair, it's quite nice to actually use some bases that kind of are forcing me out of my comfort zone and making me make a different shape tag to what I would normally make. So, yeah, I think that's quite fun. Let's just trim this down here. Right, okay, so this is where I obviously need my template again to cut my corners, and then, you know, obviously I'll cut across the tops. So that one, and then this one here. Oops. And just cut across the top here. Oops. Like that. So yeah, I mean, I do quite like them actually, being those little chunky kind of stumpy tags. They're quite cute, aren't they? So yeah, let's just cut this one. Okay. Oops. 1, 2. Like that. Okay, then we've got our collage ones. So obviously they don't really need too much trimming anyway. Well, they might do actually. I can't remember anyway. Yeah. Let's do that one. Okay, and then just straight across the top again, like that, and then yeah, I've actually had a real lot of fun with this series. So, you know, I really hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I really hope that you guys have, you know, got a whole bunch of tags now, you know, because I love that kind of rewarding feeling, you know, when you've made a whole bunch of things and you're like, wow, I've got like loads of this or loads of that, or, you know, a whole bunch of clusters or a whole bunch of, you know, pockets or a whole bunch of tags or whatever. I think there's no more sort of satisfying feeling really than when you've actually achieved quite a lot. So yeah, I really hope that you guys have also joined in and that you too have felt like you've, you know, achieved a whole, you know, whole bunch. So there we go, and just cut that top. Oops. Oh, don't know what happened there with the corners. They were not very even, were they? Nope. Right, last one, you'll be pleased to know. But, you know, the good news is all the tags are done now. So, you know, they now are just needing decorating. So, you know, even though it seems like, oh gosh, you know, boring, well, the decorating is the fun part. So we've kind of spent, I don't know how long I've been filming, but let's say half an hour. And we've, oops, didn't cut the top off. And we've done all the boring bits now. So we're now left with the, you know, the fun bits left to do. I don't know, I must have cut my template down, I can only imagine, because they're now all coming out really bad. So let's hope that I did that later rather than very early on, because otherwise all my tags are going to be, you know, off like that. Right, okay, so let's decorate a couple of these. Let's just get rid of all these bits. Okay. Right, so yeah, let's decorate a couple. So let's bring in 3 quite different looking ones maybe. So hopefully we'll get some different looks. Maybe these 3. Yeah. Okay, now I have got obviously some fussy cuts and things like that on the desk and things that we could use. I've got clusters and things like that that we could use. So, you know, we've got kind of a mixture of things that we could obviously be using for these. So I'm just pulling in things at the moment that just are laying around. So I'm not, you know, I'm not thinking about it or deliberately sort of choosing anything. I'm just grabbing anything that happens to be, you know, within reach, really. I mean, that's quite pretty, isn't it? We could do something like that. Yeah, I quite like that. Again, just kind of going with the flow of just pulling in any old thing that I, you know, happen to have laying around. Got this. Let's see if we want that coming out here, like maybe underneath here. Okay, so let's cut this down. Right, let's just pop this on. Okay. Like that. And yeah, right. So again, I'm going to use the 3-in-1 glue at the top, and then just where it's going to be going over that lace, I'm going to just use some hot glue. And I know I say this all the time, the reason I'm doing that is purely because I'm doing a video, and you know, I just don't want everyone sat there watching me press things down, making sure they're glued. Whereas if I just use the hot glue, I don't need to be doing that. I know it's glued down. So, you know, you don't have to use hot glue, but just if you're doing a video, I think it's just, you know, saves people waiting endlessly, doesn't it? So that's the only reason why I'm doing that. Okie dokie. So then I've got the rose now. Just having a look to see what else I might have laying about. And we might have a, let's just see. Oops. Oh, look. Just take this down. This is just, again, it's from the Paris papers, but it's just like an offcut. I just thought, oh, maybe this could go somewhere. Let's get my blendy tool. Let's just ink around my tag as well. Okie dokie. Right, going to pop this rose down. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty. And then I think we'll have this little label here. Again, just going to hot glue this for the same reason, so I'm not having to just be like pressing it down for ages, making sure it's glued. I just know that it is. So like that. Okay. I mean, that butterfly's probably a bit big, and it's probably not the right colour really, but you know, because I'm just using things that are laying around, thinking, you know, just use those things that are laying about on the desk. So yeah, I don't want to be now, you know, taking ages looking for different things. I'm just trying to kind of make use of things that are just here anyway. I mean, that's quite pretty, isn't it? This one of my lace clusters, but yeah, you could have something like that just on as a tab. Just take this down. I don't think this is going to be right because it's probably not really the right colour, but again, just, you know, it was laying around, so let's just give it a try. This is just obviously one of my coloured book plates. And the lace clusters, I do have those on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website. So if you were looking for any, there should be some on there, I think. there. Quite like it there actually. So yeah, I'll put this down with the wet glue. I mean, obviously the only thing that I would say with these is, you know, like I've put this here as a possible tab. You don't want to obviously have, you know, like with your crocodile, punch your holes through both sides and then tie something through both sides, because you then would have to untie it every time that you wanted to get into the pocket, which is fine if that, you know, if that doesn't bother you, that, you know, that would be fine. But if that does bother you, then, you know, you might prefer not to do that, to be perfectly honest. So I think something like this works quite nicely. Let's just pop this up here. Oops. Because obviously that's just now on the one side. So our opening is, you know, perfectly accessible, you know, which is what you want really. So very cute, isn't it? So that's that one. Right, let's do another one. Okay, I've got this shoe. So again, I'm just trying to use, like, you know, things that are laying about on the desk and not be too fussy about what I'm actually using. Oh, I do have a little cluster there. Oh, it's a bit too small, which is a shame, isn't it? Oh, I've got this. This is just from my group photos. That's a bit weird. You don't really have the photo and the shoe, do you? But kind of couldn't resist trying it for some reason. Thought, oh, let's just see what that looks like. I quite like it on here. I know that's a bit strange, but yeah, for some reason I'm quite liking it on here. I mean, again, totally not the thing that I would have, you know, expected to go with, but it's sort of quite nice, isn't it? Let's just ink this up. Let's ink around the tag. Okay, and the flowers. Okay. Right, let's just pop this down. So I will just put this whole thing down with the hot glue right now because, you know, I just want to get it stuck down. It's going over that bit of lace. And also this is quite thick paper. This is on 250 GSM rather than very thin paper, which sometimes, you know, you might have to press that for quite a while to get it to glue down because it's sort of, not saying resistant, but a little bit more resistant to wanting to glue down. So yeah, just kind of helping it glue down a little bit quicker really. What did I do with that big blue butterfly? I don't think that's going to go. Oh, what was I thinking? I mean, there's no blue on there. Why would I think that would go? No idea. I mean, we could have that, which ties in obviously the greeny colour from down here. And, you know, again, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because I wouldn't have necessarily pulled that in, but weirdly, I mean, it sort of does, yeah, it does look okay, doesn't it? Let's just see whether we want anything else, like maybe this coming out or anything. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, that kind of ties in this and that, doesn't it? So let's just tear that down there. Perhaps I'll just tear it down a bit, take it down a bit narrower. So we'll glue this down. Okay. What have I done with my, was this? Don't know whether this was the tissue I was using or not now. If I'm truthful, but okay. Right, so then the butterfly, I'm going to ink at the back because obviously the wings will be, you know, overhanging the tag. So I just want to make sure they're coloured. And we'll just then glue this on. Again, just using my hot glue just to make sure it's, you know, nicely glued straight away. So yeah, like that. Okay, so looking good. Yeah. And then this, I will just take one off. Otherwise it was a bit too tall for the area, you know, a bit too long for the area that it was gluing on. So yeah. Okay. And then the flowers here, I think. Okay, anything else? Do we want anything else? Let me see. Well, we could have something like that, to be honest. So yeah, let's just do that. So, oh, sorry about the back of this. I've obviously been printing multiple things on here, but okay, and then the butterfly, yeah, sort of up there. Okay, I mean, how gorgeous does that look? And to be honest, I would never have put that mixture of things together in a million years. Actually, I'm not sure why I did today, but anyway, it was all just laying around on the desk, and I thought, oh well, let's just try it. Let's see if it goes. And actually, I don't mind it. I think it actually looks quite nice. But yeah, a very eclectic kind of mix of stuff going on there, isn't there? So yeah, right. Let's have a look and see what else I've got laying around. Oh, what have I got? Okay, got this huge cluster. That's quite nice. Oh, I've got a bunch of clusters up here, so I'm just kind of having a look to see what other bits I've got. So, oh, that's quite a nice one. So that's my perfume bottles on this. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Yeah, really nice with that blue, isn't it? So let's just ink the tag of that. Okay. Then that one there, and oops. Okay. Right, do we like the pink or do we like the blue? I mean, it's really hard actually, because to be honest, they both bring something to the table, don't they? But something completely different. You know, it looks completely different with each one. Probably the blue is probably better, I suppose. But yeah, I didn't dislike the pink lace, to be honest. Right, so if we have that, let's have a look. Again, just, you know, randomly pulling in stuff that I happen to have here laying around. So, you know, I'm not necessarily saying that any of these are the right things, but I'm just, you know, just going with what I've got laying about. So, I mean, we could maybe have that on there, coming in over there. I wonder what other scraps I've got up here. Yeah, we could maybe have something like this. So let's just tear this one down. Okay. Right, let's glue this on. Okay. Let's just smoosh that down. Okay, and then I'm just going to obviously snip this off at the side. Must be careful not to snip in onto the envelope itself. Okay. And just ink that a little bit. Okie dokie. And then the cluster there, Oh my goodness, how gorgeous is that? Love how that looks. Let's just snip this down here. Okay. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? I love how that looks. Right, so let's put this down here. And then for this one, I've got a little bit of a different idea going through my head. I don't know how it's going to work. You know, I don't mean how it's going to work. I do, in my head, I know how it's going to work. What I'm saying is I don't know whether it's going to work very well. But yeah, hopefully it's going to look cute. So we'll try that in a second. So just, again, just hot gluing this because it's going over that lace. And of course, you know, it's quite bulky because it's a thick, you know, thick cluster now. So I just wanted to make sure that that's properly glued down without having to sit waiting around for it. So for this one, what I'm thinking as the tab, I'm just going to get my ready-made, what do you call these? Wax seals, that's the word. It was just kind of completely, yeah, just couldn't think of the word there. So yeah, the wax seals, and oh, which one do we like? I mean, to be honest, I quite like all of them. I quite like this pink one, I think. Yeah, quite liking the pink one. So I'm thinking, well, I was just thinking, oops, oh, sorry. Horrible noise there, I do apologise. I was trying to slide my wax seals back up onto my, you know, the IKEA shelf thing behind. And obviously I couldn't then get it to slide onto there very well. Right, I happen to have a bunch of paper clips ready kind of for wax seal paper clips. Oh look, that's annoying, isn't it? It's just, that one's not a very big paper, big wax seal. Right, let me just cut this paper down. Oh gosh, this is fiddly, isn't it? Just cut that down like that, and yeah, pop this onto here again, and then glue this onto the wax seal. And then instead of it being an actual fixed tab, if you see what I mean, it's going to be a removable tab by the way of a paper clip. So there we go, and like that. Oops. So yeah, like that. So instead of having a tab, what you've got is just a paper clip. So obviously take the paper clip off, and then you can access your pocket in there. So yeah, just a bit of a different kind of take on there. Very cute, I think. And you know, obviously from the front now, that just looks like the tab of the pocket. The tab of the tag. The tab of the tag. Yeah, looks like the tab of the tag, but obviously you can take it off, and then it's accessible as the pocket. So yeah, just a kind of bit of a different kind of thing to do there as a tab for your tags if you're making these envelope tags, because you want to obviously have them accessible, you know, to get into the actual pockets themselves. So that's probably all that we've got time to actually decorate up today. So I'm just going to kind of lay them out. I really hope that you like them. I think there's something a little bit different, and yeah, just, you know, yeah, hope that you like them. Would really love it, like I say, if you are joining in the challenge, if you could obviously use that hashtag tagtastic, if you could share the links below with your Instagram or your, you know, your Facebook pictures if you know how to do that, or your YouTube channel if you've got one, and things, so that we can all share and see everyone's pictures and or videos, and yeah, maybe include the count of how many tags that you are up to now. And yeah, I really hope that you are enjoying the series and getting lots of inspiration and things. And yep, obviously I will see you guys in the next video. So thank you so much then, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.